Hello, 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 everybody. My name is Sonia Marie. What's happening with you? And I'm founder of Wordlife Astrology. Today is Freestyle Fridays. I need to have some D-Nice or some sound situation. Some Freestyle Fridays. Freaky Friday. Freestyle Friday. Whatever Friday you want to call it. It is here. Yes, today is another beautiful day of life, and I am here to express some downloads that are coming on. If you don't know me, by the way, hello. If you just happen to trip up on my channel, my face, my video, welcome, welcome, welcome. This is a community of beautiful people that like to utilize astrology in a way in which we can better ourselves. Yeah, I mean, astrology is used for a whole bunch of different things. It's used to predict the weather. It's used to predict government situations, societal situations. It's used for relationships, for personal entertainment of some sort. Am I going to get that job? Where's my man? Blah, 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 blah. We talk about a few of those things around and about throughout our videos, but mainly my channel is dedicated to allowing us to see ourselves, to be better for ourselves, and thus be better for the world and absolutely the people that we love. It's about self-reflection here. So oftentimes, many people may view my channel as being too deep or too retrospective in a space in which we should just move forward and move on. But I tell you, it's so difficult to move forward when you got 20, 30, 40 years of shit compacted in your your colon. No, I'm just joking. Compacted in your life. So I have adapted and adopted ways to use astrology in my 25 years plus of loving it, utilizing it, and giving readings to allow us to see ourselves for ourselves so we can be better for ourselves and unpack some of these things that we hold that absolutely and directly affect our lives and our decisions. Bottom line, point blank. That is it. So today's syllabus, everybody, is to talk about something that's been on my heart in the last couple of days, shame. I want to go there real quick in relation to what Pluto just did, moving out of Capricorn and into Aquarius. And then also I want to read a couple of people here. So be prepped with your time. I always say that. Be prepped with your date, your time of birth, and your Sonia, one more time. Be prepped. Take two. Be prepped with your rising sign, your sun sign, and your moon sign. Okay, if you have that, your sun, your rising, and your moon sign. And if you have no idea, but you do know your time, your date, and your place of birth, you can go to one of my favorite websites, ALABE.com. That's ALABE.com. And go to the middle of the homepage. It'll say natal chart, free natal chart. And you go, yeah, and you put in your time, your date, and your place of birth. And those three aspects, or those three things about your chart should come up: your sun, your moon, and your rise. All right. They also have a cute little synopsis on the bottom of it to give you some idea of what your chart is all about. That's ALABE.com. One more announcement, and then I'm going to get on into saying hello to everybody. There are 2 spots available. If you want to come along with us, the 20 of us now, the 20 of us to Costa Rica. Yep. Pura vida. It's a pure life living down there. True and true. We are going from January, from July 24th to July 29th. Again, that's July 24th to July 29th of this year. It's going to be an awesome, awesome, awesome trip. And I tell you, truthfully, about 75% of the people that are returning have been to other retreats. So I'm really looking forward to this retreat because it's like a family reunion, so to speak. There's a lot of repeat offenders and it just feels like a party, you know. All new people are welcomed for sure. And trust, believe, when you get involved and get into it and start meeting people and opening up your heart, you will be considered a family member within 5 minutes. Trust me. Trust me. So if you want to come to our retreat, be those last two people to get those spots, please hit up the link right below this particular video, or you can just go to my website at wordlifeastrology.com/retreats. That's wordlifeastrology.com/retreat. Hello to all the 19 people that are sliding here with 6 thumbs up already. I appreciate y'all. Y'all like my announcements or something? Is that what it is? Danielle is here. What up, Sube? Nice to see you in the spot. What's going on, Tiffany? And Vaughn is here. Rabbi Rob is here. Irene is here. Catherine Millet, my bad, didn't see the T, is here. Rabbi Rob, Miss Lady J. Jaywalker, greetings to you over in Maryland. I was looking at your page on IG when you was like, this is Jaywalker. I said, hey, Jaywalker, let me see what you look like. What's up, brother? Much love to you. ZP, what up? Zena is here. And Melissa just, you logged in right on time. What up, sweet tea? I'm so glad that y'all around. What up, Rhonda? Nice to see you. And Mary, what's up, Trina? So good to see y'all in this spot. I'm doing really well, Jaywalker. I appreciate you asking that. You know, we go through these little changes and switches and I'm just going to say waves in our lives that truly and so true. If you're not a surfboard rider in this particular life, you got to hurry up and get your certifications, because I'm trying to tell you, you can get it all on you in a matter of a minute, and you go from one high to another low to another high. But yo, it's life. We came here to work this shit out. It's the gym. You know what I mean? All right, so let's get to working it out as we slide into the first little bit of business. Let me get a little sip of my tea first real quick. Again, I appreciate y'all being here. I really do. And if this resonates with you, please pass this video on to your friends, your loved ones, whoever it is that you think that it will resonate with, as well as send your girl some really good energy. You know, put me in your prayers, put me high up there with everybody in the light along with yourself. Or you can just donate to the page. There's a PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App prompt at the in the description box below this video, okay? I'd really appreciate that. It keeps a sister going. Trust and believe. All right, so thank you. Listen, I have been getting some considerable downloads, and I thought to talk about them here on Freestyle Fridays, and I would love for you to add anything. Ask as many questions as you can. You know, I'm gonna sound like a broken record, only because, like I said, umpteen times before, I love one-on-one connections. I love doing retreats. I love doing workshops that are in person. I just love seeing and feeling people and seeing where folks are at. So the only way that we can do that is to ask questions here on this live, okay? And to talk among yourselves if you can. This is an open forum society, so to speak, and I want us to get used to pouring our hearts into other people and bigging them up, as well as them bigging you up. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Makes the world a better, brighter place. So listen, the couple of downloads that have been coming on me is quite about shame. It's about shame. And I'm gonna get to that in a minute. But one of the things that I saw when I got these downloads recently, if you can rewind, selector, back to possibly maybe a year and a few months ago. Not all of you have been following me for that amount of time. It's all cool. I'm going to express what I said back then, and how what spirit dropped in my mind was how all of us were like on the street back then, moving at a steady pace, looking for change, looking for information, looking for freedom on some level. But the visual is this. Well, all like, if you ever been to Manhattan, or if you ever been to a street that's like a considerable boulevard in which there are several lanes, right? So you imagine several lanes all going in one direction, and everybody in the world is packed on that particular road. And we're all moving, and where we're moving further and further into this little interesting corridor, right? I've been talking about this, and trust, it all had to do with some astrological understandings back then, and I'm gonna round it out in a minute. Just rock with me. This road of people and this crowd of people have all been coming together, like really trying to discard some shit, to melt some things off of them, change some things off of them, release the people as the road gets smaller and smaller and more condensed. Your own personal road, you dig? But all the people in the world are on your personal road, or the people within your world are on your personal road. And as we go further and further and further, we get caught up in like this little corridor, whereas one point it was 8 or 9 or 10 lanes. Now it's only 2. What Spirit showed me the other day was we're like at the bottleneck. It's like not only just 2 lanes, it's like 1 lane. And more specifically, what I was shown was, you ever been to a concert, right? And please, Squirrel, don't ask me why Spirit shows me things like this. To be truthful with you, they all come in different guises, right? Like in different ways. Like you may hear, you may smell things. I see visuals and poetic scenes running through my mind, and Spirit be like, pay attention to that, pay attention to that. So anyway, what I saw the other day was us being at a concert. And you know how when you're at a concert and you're like the 4th or the 5th person that's about to get their ticket stubbed, but it's not necessarily an organized line or entrance to this concert. It's very crowded and kind of people are pushing. This is the visual. So we're in a space in which we're pushing, in my opinion, and the way I see things. If you don't agree, it's okay. You don't have to agree with me. You do not. Please turn me off and go to somebody else that you agree with. But the way I see it is that we're at this door and we're being pushed up against the glass, and we're trying to get our tickets like handed to the guy or the girl, whoever is at the door. Like, I'm getting in. My shit is safe. I got the golden Willy Wonka ticket. I'm cool. I'm in there. But it's squishy. It's squishy. You got motherfuckers' armpits all up in your face. You got all people stepping on your toes. You're taller than somebody, so you got your boobs laying on their head and they're on their neck. And then somebody is taller than you and they got their whatever's on your neck. You understand what I'm saying? It's really, really crowded and really, really funky and really confused at times. I'm not saying that nobody is not living a happy life right now. I'm not here to put all kind of doomsday shit on you. I'm here for us to recognize, in my opinion, and what I see, the phases and the process that we're in oftentimes. And the process that I see is that we are all being summoned to this door to reach the other side, where there's not just a concert, but there's a new life. There's a new way of being. There is new music, there is new people, there's new ideologies, there's new laws, there's new structures, there's new morals in which you stand by. But you got to get through this motherfucking door. That's the catch. So emotionally, this is what came to me. These are all my downloads, y'all. Ask questions, hit me up if you want. Just let me know what you're thinking. Emotionally, we've gone through several layers walking down that street. Right? We may have approached some real weird senses of pain and frustration and separation and loneliness and a lot of the emotions that we oftentimes feel and can resonate with. And sometimes we can get through that thing quite, I wouldn't say easily, but it kind of feels like a pattern. Like, okay, I'm a little bit lonely now. I know what to do. Let me get in the shower. Let me call a friend. Let me go over to this one friend's house that always listens, and he makes me feel better. You know what I mean? Like some things we know how to get ourselves out of, and some emotions like shame is just not an easy one. Yes, y'all. Do y'all understand me? Does this resonate with anyone? Again, not trying to be a bearer of bad news. I am a person who loves to heal and get through shit. That's my job on the planet, is to assist myself and whoever else wants to listen by my big mouth, my loud words, and my poetic stances to tell you, this is the way I see it. God says this way, if you want or not. Everybody got their own way of saying it, but it all goes back to one. Remember that, y'all. We are one. Anyway, does that make sense to y'all? Does that make sense to y'all? Jaywalker, I know that's not a question, baby, but let me tell you something about that meditation and not being able to hear anything. Oh, God, I'm going to have to put my glasses on. What advice would you give to tap into hearing? Oh, it is a question. Oh, okay. I missed that one. Okay, so Jaywalker asked, what advice would you give to tap into hearing from your ancestors or your God? He also added, I try and meditate, but I don't seem to hear anything. Okay, before I get to the shame part, I definitely want to address what he's saying because stay with that analogy. I know I love analogies, right? Stay with that analogy. Can you imagine hearing shit when the concert's on the other side? You got Puffy and Biggie and everybody that you know and love is about to perform. It's a 9-hour concert. You understand? And it's loud. It's loud on the other side. People behind you are loud. Everybody around you is loud. So how can you hear, Jaywalker? Like, that's a real consideration, a real challenge, a real thought. Because everybody and everything is being said at once. The good is being said. Girl, guy, you can be the top of your game. Get that money. Ask that person for a chance, for an opportunity. DM them. You love her. You feel like you love her. You shoot your shot. You know what I mean? You got all of these positive affirmations and these things that are being said on one side of your head. And in the midst of all of that, now remember, these are the people as you're being surrounded by before you go into the concert. And then you got Joe Schmo on the other side going, bitch, you could never do that. You could never go there. Who says you too fat for that? You too ugly for that. You too old. You're about 53. You going to get back on stage? You going to do this? You going to do that? You hear where I'm going? It's most difficult to hear them, Jaywalker, and everybody else when we're in this space, smushed up, and there are so many earthly voices, that committee of things and thought and pain and past life experiences and this life past experiences, you dig, that want to hold us down, that want to mute us, that want to divert us, that want us to cause a riot so not too many people is getting through that door. Does that make sense poetically? Sometimes it's just one person to start some shit, or one voice to start some shit, to have you fall back and be left with the mediocre, be left with the mundane, be left in the past, so more people can slip through that door, or different people can slip through that door. The strongest people can slip through that door. Everybody on here is getting through that door. You are one of the strong. We are. Trust and believe. Why? Because we show up for ourselves. Not because you want to look at me because I'm cute. I am cute. But by the way, we still got work to do. You get what I'm saying? You show up so we can do the work. Does this make sense, y'all? So if we're sitting there, Jaywalker, and you got all of these people and everybody else that may have this question, we got all of these people, this committee around us and shit. How can we hear them? We have to go further and further and further inside. It's almost like we have to block them off. Now, there's some practical things that you can use too, because I don't want to throw that away as a statement, because it's very, very difficult to go further inside. However, there are some things that you can do to help you get there. We all know the trendy things, but they're trendy now, but they're ancient fucking century years old of saging. Excuse me for burping, y'all. The tea brings the energy up. And my digestion. Anyway, so it's about saging. It's about spritzing your house with rose water, peppermint oil water, different things, whatever you resonate with. But I also discovered too that sound vibration is a beautiful thing. The Village Hut and I've been giving the Village Hut homework and recognizing different sound vibrations that help us through different things here on YouTube, by the way. Look it up. different meditations and sound vibrations to help to connect to your spirit guides. Those sound vibrations, those megahertz will get through the thickest of the thickest voices. Trust me when I tell you, Jaywalker, it works. It really works. And part of it is you listening to it as you go to bed or when you are actively meditating. Like even if it's in the middle of the day and you want to lay on the floor or whatever, put on these sound vibration meditations or videos or whatever in your headphones to be optimal, to utilize it in the most optimal way. But even just out in the room too, put it on a speaker because those vibrations help to seep in the walls and in the fabric and in the artwork, in the plants of your home, and they can reverberate those vibrations out when it's long gone and it's off. The bottom line is that there are a few practical tools that you can use that honestly, everybody on here is open to and knows it's within you. I'm just throwing out a couple of examples, but when they are louder, you have to be quiet. Quieter. Quieter, please. Does that make sense to you, Jaywalker? Anybody? Listen, no, I do not own my own tarot cards. Do you own tarot card readings? Light dance. So you asking me if I own my own deck? Do I have my own deck? No, I don't. I don't have my own deck. If that was the question. Does that make sense to everybody? And Jaywalker, did I answer that question for you? It was a good question, right, Miss Lady J? So again, I hope it's thorough, but I really want y'all, even though I give, and sometimes I give, and I do my best to stay away from it, if y'all don't notice, to give exercises on here, right? Because this is a public forum, and you don't want to just haphazardly throw out solutions and answers to questions that may or may not work for a person. I give you suggestions, and then possibly maybe as you utilize those suggestions, but as you're walking down the street and spirit says, you know what, that suggestion that such and such made was cool, but you've graduated from that. Why don't you try this? Go with the try this. Always go with the try this when spirit is saying it, because it's where you are in your life and your procedure of growing and living and evolving. You dig? And I don't know what that is, just being here on one side of this mirror. You get that? I don't know what that is. So you always got to listen to yourself. But I do know if they're loud, you have to get a little bit quiet. You got me? No, I was saying people can use tarot readings for connections with their spirit guides. Yep, that is true. However, not everybody knows how to use cards, and it's okay. But that's a good example or way of doing things, way of listening to them. Back to shame and back to that front door, the corridor of the concert. The reason why I think shame comes up at that very, very last little bit, the thing that we're going through right now, is because who wants to admit that they were a fucked up parent? Who wants to admit that they self-sabotaged all of their success? Who wants to admit that they allowed their vices to control their steps? Who wants to admit that they keep going back to the same dude or the same chick because there's a weird abusive comfortability there? Who wants to admit that shit? That is shame, y'all. Are y'all hearing me? There's an element of shame that most people will die with. And that's a real motherfucking word. Why? Because we haven't been equipped, taught, conditioned to face ourselves and to take responsibility and accountability of the things that we do and the ill decisions that we made. And the fact that, there is a possibility to make up for it. When we get into those shame spaces, we don't even have the energy on some level to correct the shit, because we spend so much energy trying to cover it. Does that make sense? Yes, yes, y'all. Are you hearing me? Am I hitting a note today? I just want to make sure y'all there. That shame is crazy, because who do you tell that you're shameful of or for or about? You damn near don't want to admit it to yourself. You're not going to tell your best friend. Of course, you're not going to tell your mother, because she's going to do that "I told you so" thing. Or if she don't say it, she going to look like it. Or, and I'm not just putting that on everybody's mother, because not everybody's mother does that shit. But at the end of the day, the point of the matter is that you don't want any type of reflection, any type of judgment to come back at you. I'm not telling you something you don't know. I'm asking you to reveal what you already know. I'm putting it in your face right now. I'm asking you, please and very please, as we bottleneck this thing, as we go and we switch from Pluto going into Capricorn and now into Aquarius, that we really, really pay attention to that. Why? Because as we know, Pluto is about power. Pluto is about destruction. Pluto is about intimidation, the things that we talk about plainly. Excuse me, one more time. I had to burp. The things that we talk about plainly. But Pluto also asks that we go so deep that we reveal these things about ourselves so we can move forward. Pluto says there's no way to change a thing, to destroy a thing, to create a thing. Pluto is about destruction because it wants to create. And if it switches guards, if it switches one vibration, one energy from Capricorn to another, there's a whole nother set of rules that we have to get down with. And in that switching, it's like walking through the door, so to speak. Why? Because now we have a whole nother set of rules that we have to comply to in order to get down and dirty and try to change, rearrange some things about ourselves in our gut, see ourselves so we can destroy a whole nother set about ourselves. Does that make sense? Pluto and Capricorn suggests that we destroy some personal systems as well as general and public systems, as we discussed in the last video, right? But Pluto in Aquarius says that we have to destroy some connections that we have with humanity, with the people that we know, in an Aquarius kind of way, in a detached kind of way. So on some level, you're going to have to come up out of that shame, because now we're getting closer to seeing ourselves. Pluto's going to be in Aquarius around about, I'm gonna have to check for my damn self, to be honest with you, because I Googled and I saw one date, and then I Googled and saw another date, and I'm like, how can y'all all be? You know what, Sonja? This is what I'm gonna do. As I talk, I'm gonna see it for my damn self. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do, y'all. Dollar bill, y'all. Dollar bill, y'all. Dollar bill, y'all. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me go back. So while I'm doing that, I also want to say, what year is this? 2023. Let's go that. Let's see what happens. Oh, you kidding me? All right, here we go. I'm sorry for the delay on some level. I just want to make sure I wasn't prepared, and I want to make sure I tell y'all exactly. And look at that. Boom, chicky, boom, boom. Yo, are you kidding me? Okay. My bad, y'all. I just want to make sure that we understand what this Pluto in Aquarius is all about, because that's 20, okay. As we go further and understand this lesson, and we see the things that we have to change and alter and destroy and release the repressions of, in this Aquarius season, the next Pluto is going to be in Pisces. And when it goes to Pisces, that's you absolutely contending with you and spirit. Do y'all hear what I'm going, where I'm going with you? I know this is like fast forward 2000 and I think it's this year. Hold on. I still didn't look it up. I know we're going hella fast forward, but I do my best to try to prepare us all. Look at that. Ain't that about a blip shit? Look at that. All right, so y'all know when Pluto goes out of Aquarius? March 9th, 2043. 20 years. March 9th, 2043. That's a hell of a long time, y'all. For us to be able to destroy, dismantle, reach in these repressive places and spaces within our mind, bodies, and soul, within our community, in order to bring it up, drudge it up, and heal it to move on. If you don't deal with the shame, if you don't know what you're shameful about, you don't know what you're guilty about, how you going to move on and assist the community again? If you don't know what you're shameful about, how you going to move on and assist yourself in 20 years when Pluto looks at you like on some Pisces shit, like, okay, now we're going to talk to your ancestors and gods. Now we want to know the things that we need to destroy with religion and spirituality and the things that are unseen. We need to destroy those concepts in order for y'all to move forward. And that's going to be a clusterfuck of shit, because a lot of people don't want to give up Jesus. A lot of people don't want to give up the Bible. A lot of people don't want to give up things in which we've been designed. That spirit is a reflection of us in some kind of way. We don't want to give it up. So come back. For the next 20 years, we got to release these repressions and the shame that we have and the choices that we made, so we don't pass that on to our children and our grandchildren. So when they get into these spaces of Pluto and Pisces, they can be above ground, so to speak. Sometimes my brain and my downloads come faster than my mouth can move. I swear to God. And I start spitting and start like stuttering and stuff because I'm not getting it out quick enough. So y'all forgive me. All right. But understand my method. Is this making sense to y'all? Understand my method, please, and very, very please. Shame is a horrible thing, but the only way to deal with that is to face it. Why are you afraid to say you fucked up? Why are you afraid to go to the people to say you fucked up? And better yet, another exercise that I do with people in the village hut, I ain't gonna give y'all all my juice, but why don't you look in the mirror? Why can't you look in your own eyes and say, you know what, I love you despite all the things that you've done and the things that you didn't do. I love you despite all of the things that you knew you could do at 5, at 6 years old, at 12 years old, when you used to love to run, but you gained about 50 pounds. Now you don't run anymore. Now you feel shameful because all your friends are running, but you're not running. I'm pulling up just, arbitrary examples. The bottom line is face yourself. Look at yourself in the eye. It's one of the hardest things to do, to look at your own eyeballs, to look right in the center of your own soul, to face yourself, regardless of what you look like. I got a few freckles right here, my bags underneath my eyes, got a little wrinkles because I'm 52. Like, God damn it, I'm still fly though. God damn. But the bottom line is, a lot of us won't think that on some random Tuesday, including me. I'm just cute right now. But a lot of us won't think that. But you got to go deeper into that space. So the things that people do, the communities that are developing and that are destroying, so the people that come to you and judge you and what it is that you do, right? They can't hurt you. They can't shake you off your square because you met yourself in the eyeball. You already faced your own shame. Yup, that was me. I did do that shit. Wow, I did do that. I wasn't too enlightened when I did that, or I wasn't in a happy space when I did that. There's no excuses. I did that. I did that. I said that. Yeah, I made that decision too. Wow. Okay. Well, you know what? I'm human. At the end of the day, we are learning who we are so we can deal with being a better human. Human beings still got their flaws, y'all. Human beings still have their flaws, right? But if we can be aware of them, if we can step into these weird ass difficult emotions in a way in which we don't know how to utilize our words, sometimes we don't maybe not even have the words to use. Maybe we can write it down. Maybe we can hug it out. Maybe we can do whatever. But The thing about it is we have to go into those spaces and places to unpack those repressions, because here's the danger too. The danger is, oh, this is a deep concept. The danger is oftentimes, and you know this, and it's deep, but you know this. Oftentimes when we do keep a lid and when we keep a cap on those shameful places and the things that we don't want to admit, what we do is a bunch of several different things. The two that just came to me is, one, we look for a savior. We look for somebody to help us make sense of why we did that. Oh, I was listening to I don't know, fucking Les Brown. I was listening to Iyanla Vanzant. I was listening to blah, 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 blah. And they were saying maybe the reason why I did X, Y, and Z is because, I don't know, these two people never said this, but I'm just going to say it out loud. Cancel culture. Les and Iyanla never said that. But say, okay, they said I can cancel people. The bottom line is that when we don't go to those shameful places, we'll look for reasons and people and situations to give us excuses for not going down that road, knowing damn well it has nothing to do with nothing. What they said was applying to something different. And even if it applied to that, you're not even at that stage to utilize that as a reason or an excuse, because you haven't even looked it in the eyeball yet. I'm getting in your faces because I'm getting in my own face. For those that think, I'm just going to say this. I do the work. So the bottom line is that we got to do the work. We just can't come on here, talk to one another, utilize the information that's given and say, oh, yeah, I know. I'm sure I said this before. There's one or two people that I've met in my lifetime in which they're the smartest and the most intelligent people ever. When you meet them on the street, or you meet them in a workshop, or you go to a concert with them, you see them every now and again because they're an associate. They seem to be the smartest people. Because they always got a word. They always got some information. They always are quoting books and different authors and websites and TED Talks. And they went to this retreat and they went to this retreat. But if you go to their house, you can really see what their house is showing about them and the work or the lack of the work that they do on themselves. Why? For instance, the books are all over the wall. They got tons and tons and tons of books, but they never apply a thing. Their house is filthy fucking dirty. And I'm not poking fun at anybody on here, nor am I judging you. I'm asking you to go to those shameful spaces and places. And sometimes we hide our shame in our homes. Sometimes our homes are filthy fucking dirty. Sometimes we pack shit up to the ceiling because we can't pack our thoughts no more. There's no more room in our brains, so we pack it in our houses. There's no more room to pack information and emotional trauma and shit in our hearts, so we pack it in our houses. So we pack it in our closets so nobody can see. Are y'all following me? Did y'all hear where I'm going? Am I this is too deep for a Friday? I'm wondering. The application is always needed to grow. Life dance, absolutely. But you'll always have that one or two people who think they know it all, who think that they have all the books, but they're sad as fuck. Why? Because they will not and they do not approach their own trauma, their own shame, their own guilt. You can't pontificate. You can't fucking intellectualize why you're going through what you're going through. You got to walk through it and bleed. That's for real. And I'm so sick of people telling me, well, and this is just me venting real quick. This is a venting part for sure. Why don't you talk about something happy on your channel? You know what? I'm a happy person. I'm happy because I'm doing my work. I'm not happy because I'm pushing things aside and acting like, oh, my life is fucking this. I'm living my best life. I'm posting pictures. I'm out and about. I'm swinging my titties. I'm doing this. I look good. And sometimes I do, but that's not my get down personally. Because on some level, people are negating the hard work that they have to do. I'm just saying. I'm not that chick. I'm not that chick. I'm not that chick to pretend like everything is coochie fucking cool when things are not. They're good, but the things that I need to work on to make my life better is my aim. Why? Because we got limited time here. Limited time. And if folks, whoever it is that I need to handle that with, are not where I'm at, I have to continuously move forward. I got to do what I need to do. And hopefully they can do what they need to do. Stop in the venting part. Okay? Do y'all understand that though? Do y'all really, really get that? Maybe I'm just repeating myself. Maybe this is not hitting because you've heard this before. And maybe this is not hitting because you feel like you beat yourself up about this at one particular time. It's no use of beating yourself up, y'all. There's no reason. It's not about victimhood. It's not about looking at the shameful things and going, oh, woe is me. Look what I did. Fuck all of that. Look what you did. Look what your neighbor did. Look what your mother did. Look what your father did. Look what all the people around in the world did. Look what your best friend did. Look what your goddamn boss did. Everybody is doing something. So what? No pity party. No pity party. Look at it and get through it. That's all I'm saying. Okay, that's 40 minutes of that. And that time went really, really quickly. That was crazy. Any questions? I swear to God, I felt like I was streaming. I'm gonna keep my thoughts to myself. I'm gonna keep my thoughts to myself. Any questions? Get down to the bottom dirty of it, to the bottleneck of it, y'all. You've come this way. You've come this long. And again, if you're feeling like life is good and there's new opportunities coming for you, yes, let's go. Let's do that. Let's utilize these new opportunities that are coming to you. But also know that alongside these new opportunities, there's shit that needs to leave too. And you can't negate the shit. You have to deal with it all at the same time. That's why we had Mars in Gemini, thank you, God, which is going to end tomorrow. But that's why we had Mars in Gemini, to help us to multitask these things and deal with these things as they come. As they come. Some things we can't prepare for. Some things we just gotta brace, fucking let it hit us as it hits us and move on through it. That makes sense? All right, enough of that. I'm going to read a couple of people. Please put your sun, moon, and rising. And then I'll go ahead and read one of these animal cards and then get on out of here, okay? Again, I hope this hit for you in some kind of way. I hear you, Miss J. She says, I'm tired of pretending to be fine and okay. I'm riding the wave. That's right. People ask me on those days, are you okay? I'm like, I'm up, down, and all around. That's how I am right now. Well, what does that mean? It's life. Some days I feel good. Some days I don't feel too good. Some days I want to talk about it. Some days I don't want to talk about it. But at the same time, I'm riding this shit. It's life. And at the same time, again, this is something I negated. As we go into this Pluto Aquarius shit, Aquarius handles things very detached. Like, understand that. Aquarius is like, listen, if we're going to see this destruction, we got to pull back, like I suggested a couple of videos ago, and really see that person for who they are. Aquarius is the water bearer. It gets none of that emotion on them because they don't want to deal with the emotion. So, okay, we don't need to deal with the emotion of destruction. We don't have time for it any longer, but you got to see it. Excuse me for burping. You got to see it. You got to process it. You get what I'm saying? Otherwise, you're going to be stuck in the same goddamn rhythm. The same things over and over and over and over again. I recently had I wasn't going to say this, but I'm going to say it now. I recently had a conversation with somebody, and they will go nameless because I don't like to put people on blast like that. And I recognized some things that they were saying that felt really abusive. And in the past, Sonia I'm an interesting creature because I see people and I watch people as they come, and I even recognize their darkness. And oftentimes I slip and I dive underneath it, right? But this time I said, you know what? I'm not dipping and diving nowhere. I looked, I said, let me tell you something. The shit that you just said was so off goddamn kilter. And I said it in a nice way so I wouldn't incite a riot. It was really, really unfair. And I don't deserve that shit. And you need to push the fuck back. there was a longer conversation, but that's the bottom line. When we at this bottleneck, sometimes if somebody is on your back, you got to throw them an elbow, and not to hurt them, to get them out the way, to be detached from that feeling of pain or that feeling of, oh, I hit somebody. No, it's not about you hitting somebody. It's where you need to go. Sir, you on my back, and I've told you a couple of times. Sir, you're crossing my boundaries, and I've told you a couple of times. Please push back. Do y'all get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying and where I'm going? Thank you, Life Dance. It was a lesson for me, and I'm always open to the lessons, because at the end of this day, when I close my eyes for real, and I'm out of here, I want to peace up to everybody and say, I did my shit. I did what I was supposed to do. Good, bad, or indifferent. You either like me or you don't. And it's okay. You understand? I think we get caught on that too. Like the shame part of it all. I did say I was going to shut up on the shame, huh? The shame part of it all. Thank y'all for the 26 thumbs up. I appreciate y'all. That means y'all listening. I like that. Thank you, God. That's part of that shame thing too. And not necessarily, wanting people to, be mad at you. I feel bad if people are going to be upset with me. You know what? Fuck you then. Be upset with me. Because at the end of the day, did anybody stop and ask? And this is a question for you. How you feel? How you perceive the thing? We are light workers, most of us on here. And most of us as light workers, when we go through this really interesting bottleneck time, we do try to bob and weave and stay under the current oftentimes, because we're trying to make it on the other side. That's our tactic. But sometimes you got to throw an elbow. And when we throw an elbow, oh my God, clutch my motherfucking pearls. Sonja cursed. I always curse. Sonja cursed and she threw an elbow. Oh my God. You're supposed to be so spiritual. You're supposed to have the word. I'm human. And I told you 6 times to get off my back. We have that right. We have that right. As light workers, as empaths, as people who just want to get this thing right, to state our claim and say, yo, I'm trying to heal up and you're in my way. I'm trying to heal up and dissolve some things, and you keep adding shit back into the bucket. You're in my way. Does this make sense? Listen, we ain't got time for that. And if people get their feelings hurt, they just gonna have to get their feelings hurt. At the end of the day, it's not about hurting people's feelings. It's about this Aries season of saying, hey, boom, look who stepped in the room. To cow at this motherfucker, because I'm here. I'm here, and I want to stake my claim, and I want to do God's work. And I'm tired of being mediocre in this way. I'm speaking for you and me. I'm just saying, what's that thing, y'all? We don't have to play small. We don't have to play timid and meek and really take the high road. Our high road is saying, back the fuck up. I'm a child of God. I got work to do, and you're in my way. I didn't swing on you yet, but you're in my way. Again, this is not about Sonja's life. Again, I'm speaking for all of us, because if you're the one feeling this and you are resonating with this as well. Because again, as a force, as a group, as a unit, if we can take on just a little bit of this energy that's coming through in this moment in time, in my opinion, we can be better for it, and we can grow tribes and people and office groups and people around us that can kind of like roll with the same ideology and start to heal up the world. You dig? It only takes a little bit, y'all. That's all I'm saying. I come from a for real place, and that's my job. Okay, that's enough of that shit. Anybody put up the time, their moon, their Sunday, moon, and rising? All right. Trinadia McDonald, Cancer, Pisces, Capricorn. Oh, honey, you use 12 p.m. because I don't know the time of birth. Okay, so then I can't read you, honey, because your rising, and this is for everybody, a little education if you don't know, your rising is depicted by the time of birth, because the rising sign changes every 2.5 hours or every 2 hours. So if you don't know the time, then I can't read your rise and your sun and your moon. We know, yeah. I'm sorry, honey. You might have to go find it. It should be located on your birth certificate. I see my, oh, this is Melissa. I see my shit that I am stuck on. How does one walk up and through? Oh, Melissa, you just have to call it out. You have to call it out, sit it down in a meditation, in a prayer. Listen, you know how I feel about prayer, Melissa. You know how I feel about prayer. My prayers are always answered. Always. They may not be answered the way you want them to be answered. That car may not come in the color or the make and model that you want it to come into, but we always get what we deserve and what we need in that moment. So it's about prayer. It's about recognizing that shit and going, yo, God, I see it. I see it. Can you help me get through this, please? Can you show me what to do? Can you bring me a book? If you want to be specific, if you're a person that learns through music or learns through books, if you're a person that learns through elders and having a stranger, I'm one of those people that I feel like, and this is between me and God and y'all now, that I feel like if God shows up, it shows up through a stranger or somebody on the street and just says a profound word and it hits my heart, that was for me. That absolutely for me. There's no coincidences at all in my life. You dig? So I'm just saying, pray to God and ask God to show up in a way that you need to see it, that you need to hear it. That's the most direct answer I can give you in this moment in time without seeing your chart and without opening up to you and your people, Melissa. But you know, we got time to talk. Me and you, Melissa, we can get on into it, Virgo. Any other questions real quick? Anybody, their sun, their moon, and their rising. Okay, so I only see who's 21. I'm trying to go to people that I don't know right now, and so I'm not ignoring you, Phoenix, and I'm not ignoring you, ZP, Zena, but I'm trying to go to people that I have not, I believe that I have not read before. 21 JNCI. I think I've read you before, to be truthful with you. So there's no new people that want to read real quick. Okay. Well, we're going to go with the three that put their information up. First one up is Zena go. Oh, there you go, Zena. I'm going to do Zena, then 21 JNCI, and then I'll do Phoenix last. Zena, your sun is Sagittarius, moon in Virgo, and Scorpio rising. Oh, I'm glad for that Scorpio rising on some level. I know that you and I have done several readings before. I believe this is Zena, right? Excuse me. But I'm just going to go off of what I hear today, okay? Absolutely, we already know that sun and your moon. Sonja, stop burping. It's the tea. It's so good, though. Now I'm hiccuping. Lord have mercy, I got problems. All right. The sun in Sag is absolutely a square to that moon in Virgo. Excuse me, y'all. Okay. I had to see if the hiccups would go away. Never done that before. Have hiccups here. All right. Yeah, your sun and so when your sun sign, the core you, and your moon sign, your emotions, your connection with your mom is at odds. It's a really interesting situation. I do respect squares. Squares are very, very challenging, hard to get through. But if you grow through them, if you utilize them in the way in which they want to be utilized, honestly, you grow like a goddamn, what you call that, Voltron out this mug. You're like, you become like a robot of sorts, a superhero robot. Why and how? Is because you respect the other two places. Each place respects itself. That Sag sun basically is a happy-go-lucky type of energy that really, really steps back from work on some level because it'd rather be free and roam and to do whatever it wants to do at any moment in time and be a free spirit to be on adventure almost every day, almost always. Let me just be on an adventure kind of feel. But your moon in Virgo is like, fucking adventure, bitch. We got bills to pay. We have we have some organization to do. We have some things to be accountable for. And if we don't, we're gonna look crazy. So there is a way in which you can utilize them both to make you like Voltron, like the adventurer in you, in my opinion, and what I see, needs to go out there and get the information. My computer's about to die. The Sagittarius in you needs to go out there and get the information. And the information is varied. So if it's varied and at one point you want to do this, at another point you want to do this, you want to go over here, you want to do this, that's cool, right? Plan it. Let the Virgo in you plan. Let me say that better. The Sag wants to go, example, on many, many different trips. The Sag wants to do many, many different things. Well, you say to yourself, I have Monday to do this. No, let's go back. I have this month to work, and then I have this month to go on a trip. I'm going to work in April, then I'm going to go on a trip in May. I'm going to work in June. I'm going to go on a trip in July. You want to come to the retreat? The bottom line is this, is that you have to give yourself a moment, right, Zena? ZP, you have to give yourself a moment to adjust the two. When you try to play them both at the same time is when your moon, your emotions get out of whack, because now you want to look perfect every single day, every moment of the day. And that is not possible. And the Sagittarius in you honestly doesn't even care, doesn't really care to be perfect. And remember, we are our sun signs. Your emotional nature is what throws it off whack every now and again. So the bottom line is you have to pay attention to your emotional responses and control them. That's the reason why I like that Scorpio on the front. Because if that Scorpio rise can hold you back, can allow you to observe, can allow you to see what's right for you intuitively at the particular time, then you can say, okay, we're going to have the adventure today and go along with Sag. Or you can say, nope, we have to be a little bit more responsible. We have to hone in on what we need to do, collect those details in that data, and analyze what we need to in order to keep the house going. You understand what I'm saying? Utilize Zena, your ability to see things a whole lot clearly. I know the Sag in you wants to jump and to move forward and to go quicker than quick. Even she has to slow down at least for 20 minutes throughout the day, preferably in the first part of the day or the last part of the day, so you can get an account of what it is you need to do. Write it down in a notebook of what I need to do for this day or what I need to do for this week. So when your energy gets going, the Virgo in you can feel like, okay, we are responding in a more logical kind of way, in a more responsible way, because at least you are doing something. The Virgo gets thrown off when the Sag just is doing things that are not productive. Make sense? I hope so. Okay, who else I said I was gonna? Zena, does that make sense to you? And forgive me if I said that before. Life Dance says our charts have changed since our birth. We need to go with the secondary readings. Well, secondary readings, do you mean, when you say that secondary readings, do you mean progressed charts? Here's the deal about progressed charts, secondary readings versus your natal chart. Your natal chart, thank you, I appreciate that, Mr. Brown. Your natal chart is the stain in which you were born into this life with. Basically, you'll never change being that person. You will evolve. You will utilize things. You will definitely go be progressed. And again, evolve in some kind of way, but you will always be your natal chart. It will always be the core you. So oftentimes when things happen, get thrown off, when things, when you need to respond and or be yourself, you're always going to go back to the natal position, because that's what you came in here doing. Your progress chart allows you to see how far you've come, but that doesn't mean that you're always going to respond from that space. It's available to you and you have grown in that space, but we're always going to be natal. Does that make sense? I hope so. Good question, by the way. All right. Who else I said I was going to read? Is 21JNCI still here? I really want to know that because I haven't seen anything else after that. Oh, yeah, there's a couple of yes, y'all. You're welcome, Z. Okay. So again, not knowing if I read you before, but let's rock with it. Capricorn Sun, Taurus Moon, Aquarius Rising. That's interesting because the Cap Sun and the Taurus Moon, you know, they're already on one accord. They're already on one plane. Ooh, why am I sweating? I don't even feel it, but I see it. That's weird. You're already on one accord with that Earth sign, Earthbound, for sure. The thing about your Taurus and your Aquarius too, your Aquarius, your rising is square to your moon. Now that's an interesting makeup, right? Okay, let me step back again. The Capricorn Sun in you makes you ambitious. We already know that, along with a couple other things. The moon in Taurus allows you to be methodical, strategic in the way in which you handle your ambition and your climb to the top. So that's why practically, and they're the same elements, they get along. They help each other. The Taurus definitely helps to be like a side person or a side energy to that Capricorn success and leadership, right? But here's the Aquarius on the rise can throw off the whole configuration, so to speak. Not in a bad way, but in a different way. Aquarius on the rise makes you non-confrontational. Aquarius on the rise makes you a little bit of a rogue type of person. You're going to do whatever the fuck you want to do, right? When your Capricorn and Taurus energy has set up the foundation on some practical shit for you to do it X, Y, and Z, all of a sudden you're rising when you are defending yourself, when you are protecting yourself, or when you become instantly afraid, can either not get into confrontation because you don't like confrontation, Aquarius on the rise, or just go rogue and be like, fuck y'all, I'm gonna do what I want to do, and just dismantle subconsciously and practically on some level all of the work that the Capricorn and the Taurus just did. I'm just saying. On some level, the Aquarius helps in your personality type, from what I can see in the three big obvious, your sun, your moon, and your rise, because it allows you to be more inclusive. It allows you to reach for the people. It allows you to think about others for sure, because that practical Capricorn on the real is not to say that they are selfish, but they're on a mission. Capricorn energy is always on a mission. I love you, but if I can't use you or utilize what you got, then I ain't really trying to be around you too much longer. That's for real. That's Capricorn energy for real. The Aquarius on the rise, she goes out to the people. She acts like she likes the people, and you probably really, really do on some level. You dig what I'm saying? That's where she helps you, because you always want humanity to win. But at the end of the day, if you don't get your way, at the end of the day, if people don't understand you, at the end of the day, if they question something happened to the puppy, y'all. If they question your intellect, your choices, you understand, your individuality, then again, you're kind of like, whatever, I'm gonna do what I want to do, which can leave a bad taste in people's mouths oftentimes. Just imagine Rick James and Bobby Brown on your outside. Rick James and Bobby Brown out this motherfucker. Yep. The rebellious soul, you know what I mean? And again, we can control on some level our rising energy. Trust and believe we can. I always say this, it's like a shade in the window. You're going to pull it up or you're going to pull it down. You're going to utilize it for your highest, or you're going to utilize it to block some shit off of you. I use myself an example. That Leo rise, when she's down, and I'm protecting myself, the lion is roaring. I don't like for her to come out sometimes. I'll be truthful with you, because sometimes it snaps the human in me. You know what I mean? But oftentimes when you bottlenecking, when you in that space, you trying to get to the other side, per the analogy I gave y'all earlier, you got to, you know what I mean? So maybe your Aquarius is used for that way, to fucking jack a motherfucker every now and again. Listen, but make sure you do not, please and very please, sacrifice the work that you've done. That's the catch. That's all I want to say about that. And that Aquarius and that Taurus a lot. That Aquarius and that Taurus energy, again, is a square. Very, very stubborn. So how you feel and how you protect yourself is in two different ways. The Taurus moon is always going to make you look calm, cool, and collected. Always going to make you look calm, cool, and collected. But definitely wants to do a thing the way you want to do a thing. It's a challenge within yourself to decide what you're going to stand on. Because the Aquarius is strong. The Capricorn is strong too and is the leader of the pack, right? But that Taurus energy and that Aquarius energy is stubborn and it's rooted. And it's going to say and it's going to mean whatever it says and it means and has a hard time moving from that thing. You got to find some flexibility in your personality so things can come to you in a little bit more fluid way. That's all I got. That's for sure. All right. Okay. I'm glad you agreed to all that. I wasn't looking at your yeses and your yups and your whys. Let me get to a quick question and then I'll get to Phoenix. Quick question from Miss Howard is when you have a sun square the moon, and these are also in squared houses, example, the 2nd and the 11th, okay? Does the house also refer to the mother and father relationship like the sun and the moon does? No. Nope, not at all. Only the planets, because they deal with the relationships and of how things show up. Not at all. The houses do not represent people. They represent the where. They represent where things show up in your life. So no. Thank you for that question, though. I love questions. All right. Where Phoenix at? Phoenix, you still here? I hope this information is good for y'all. You're welcome, 21JNCI. Phoenix, Aquarius sun, Virgo moon, Scorpio rise. You still here? Phoenix, you still here? I don't want to move on unless you're still here. Aquarius sun, Virgo moon, Scorpio rise. You're welcome, Miss Howard. Phoenix must have dropped off. Okay, we're going to go to the next person then. Tiffany Graves Davis. I think I read you before, but let's go ahead and do this thing again. Yeah, let's just do that thing. Capricorn. Wait, you can't have a Capricorn moon and a Libra moon. Which one is which, honey pie? Sun, moon, and rising, y'all. Let me go to Carla Flores. Carla has a Cancer moon, a Leo sun, and a Gemini rising. Wow, that makes you fun. Okay. Hi, how are you? Cancer sun. I'm sorry, Cancer moon. Okay. You know, it's interesting because I can speak to this about having that Cancer Leo makeup, although ours is flipped. I'm a Cancer sun and a Leo moon. She is a Leo sun and a Cancer moon. But the thing about that combination, regardless of where it's placed, is the fact that it comes off as steam, right? It's that hot emotion. It's what you say kind of feel. It's projecting such passion, emotional passion and reverence and an enthusiasm for a thing that oftentimes you can be thrown off and mistaken as being upset, mistaken as being overly dramatic, complaining a lot on some level. And maybe some of those things are true. But what I do know about that combination is that it's really, really important for you to express your emotions. Very, very important for you to express your emotions. Now, one of the things that I can see, well, having a Gemini rising, you probably don't let it out too much. But your Cancer moon is going to demand you do. Let me say that again. Your Cancer moon makes you incredibly sensitive. And by the way, Cancer moon people are always going out in the world picking up on everybody else, picking up on their emotions specifically. So you have to be very, very careful, especially as a Leo, because Leo has so much pride, so much vibrato, so to speak. I can do it. I'm a lion. I'm proud. Nothing's gonna stop me. I can handle it for everybody and anybody. You understand what I'm saying? I can take it on. But your little Cancer moon, your little emotions are like, yeah, but I need to rest. Yeah, but that shit hurt. Yeah, but I'm not really paying attention right now because I need to go home and cry. Like, on the real, you have to give your Cancer moon not only reverence, but space to clean out. So the Leo in you, the lion in you, is not taking on too much of a job that you can handle, especially the fact that you have a Gemini rising in which you're not necessarily seeing the emotions anyway. Pardon me, y'all. It's up with the burps and hiccups today. You're not seeing the emotions anyway. Gemini rising, again, is incredibly superficial for good reason. Gemini rising keeps things light and airy. Gemini energy, light and airy, informational for good reason. We all can't be too hella deep, you know? So Gemini is like, yo, let's just have fun. Let's see the thing for the thing and pivot when we need to pivot, change when we need to change, utilize the information as we utilize it. But I damn sure ain't trying to cry. I'm damn sure ain't letting all that information in, those emotions in. And if I do, I'm going to look the other way, is what Gemini rising says. And then the Leo gets hit. The Leo goes, oh, there's a problem. I'll take it. And then your little emotional body is withering somewhere. Gemini got to be more on deck, in my opinion, and recognize, in my opinion, where the emotions of people lie, in my opinion, Tiffany. So you can be able to navigate the world a little bit differently because you're picking up on folks. And then you get home and you get drained and you don't know how to handle it. And then you want to complain and cry out to those that are next to you, and you come off as being dramatic. Like I started the reading with. It's a perception, but it's only because you have to be more responsible for getting the emotions out. They're not always your emotions, sweetie pie, but since they're in your body, they're your responsibility to get it out. Does that make sense? Or that wasn't Tiffany, that was Carla. Does that make sense? Phoenix, now you're back. This is not your reading, by the way. I'll go back and read you. Hello, Roxy. That is, huh? I'm glad you got something from that, Carla. I'm really, really glad that you got something from that. Please pay more attention to your emotional body. It's going to help you. I appreciate that, baby. It's going to help you get through the day. Because this is what happened when Leo can't get through the day. Because remember, you are a Leo. You're not Cancer and you're not your rising. You are a Leo. What happens when the Leo can't get through the day? You hide the fuck out. You hide out. You want to just go in the corner and lick your wounds. You want to make sure you look and feel better and better than you did, and you look good. That's what Leo's like. Look, I gotta look good. I gotta feel good in order to be out in the world. But if your emotional cup is is overflowing, you're not gonna feel good because you don't know where these emotions are coming from, and you can be backed up in the corner trying to hash it out. You understand? I'm trying to release it. And when you can't figure it out and you're trying to release it, you'll stay home for days on days on days on days. The Gemini is like, yo, let's get out and have some fun. You're like, nah, not yet. I don't feel good. I'm just saying, get it off ya. Yeah, I understand that, Carla. She says that she finds it hard to want to release her emotions. She leans more into the Leo side. That's a beautiful thing because you are a Leo for sure. However, your emotional body is what's filtering everything else that's around you. So you got to give her reverence too. Okay. All right. I'm going to get off of you. Phoenix, what do you mean how? You know, why do you ask questions like that? Because you at work or something and you really can't type and you sneaking? You be like, how? In the middle of a goddamn, I don't know what you're talking about. I said like 17 things. Crazy lady. Let me go back to your read real quick. because I skipped over you. I didn't think that you was here. Again, probably working. But if you are working and you can't hear this all the way through, then come back. Aquarius sun for Phoenix, Virgo moon, Scorpio rising. There's that how. Virgo moon always wants to know how. Give me a reason why. Give me understanding, explanation. Give me a list. Let me know what I need to do and let me check the boxes off so I can be better for it. Unfortunately, life doesn't treat us that way. There are some rules and there are some regulations. There are some laws. There are some steps in which we can go through. But oftentimes, there are very singular steps. So my steps are not your steps. So I don't know what you said how to, but oftentimes your how is quite different than anybody else's how. It's about you really, really, really paying attention to what resonates with you. I can't say that enough, y'all. I'm just here to assist. I'm not here to give you answers all the time about the hows. And I'm just going off of your question, Phoenix, and going off of your energy too. First of all, Aquarius knows how. Don't get a trip, and don't act like you don't. Aquarius does know how. Aquarius has the information. It's the Virgo in you that is questioning the information because you don't want to make a mistake, because you don't want to look crazy. You don't want to look stupid. You don't want to look like Boo Boo the Fool. Well, you can't if you're trying. I'm so tired of people, and this is a little squirrel, but not really, has to do with you too. But I'm so tired of people judging and chastising folks for trying. Oh, that doesn't look right. You didn't say that properly. You should have talked to your father this way. You should have did it. Well, at least I tried. At least I'm opening up the conversation. But for years, nobody was saying shit. At least I'm trying, right, Phoenix? Try. As long as you're putting it out there, as long as you're trying to be a better person, if you make a couple of mistakes along the way, so what? Your Scorpio rising, she's on the lookout too. It's not that she wants to be perfect, but she wants to be in control of all the emotional responses that you give and the emotional responses people give around you. You got to drop that shit. You can't control shit people say. You can't control nothing people say and how they respond to you. Nor can you shank them in the shower. Because I'm not trying to get everybody from fucking Wordlife Astrology Retreat to get up some money to get your ass out of jail. I'm not doing it, Phoenix. I'm not doing it. So don't shake nobody in the shower. That Scorpio shit, okay? Just messing with you. But that Scorpio is on the lookout. Who said what? How you say that? You talking about me? You didn't? What? What? And remember, Scorpio is square to the Aquarius. So the Aquarius knows how. The Aquarius has the information. And then the Scorpio was like, yo, check yourself, shorty, because you don't know if all that information is right. And if it ain't right, I'm going to have to shank somebody. So now you got your Aquarius self all confused. And the moon in Virgo was like, and yeah, how? Let's make sure we double check. And then here goes the fucking revolving door. Yo, Phoenix, does that mean anything to you? Or am I just talking on my ass right now? Does that mean anything? I hope that makes sense. If it didn't, come back and watch it. You missed it? All right, sweetie pie, you're going to have to come back, okay? You were buffering, but come back because I don't want to repeat that for the sake of all the people that are here. Okay? All right. I think that's it for the free reads today. We are 1 hour and 18 minutes. So let's go ahead and pick a card. Any last minute questions that y'all have real quick? And we're going to end this Freestyle Friday. I'm so happy that y'all came here. I'm so happy that y'all are ready for this, for new life. I'm so happy that you're ready to make new choices for yourself in this new way that we've been given in this new day. Come on. It made sense to you, Ron? Look, the new is trying to peek on through. We bottlenecking through that situation. Let's make this thing happen. Let's make it happen, y'all. We ain't got time for this bullshit. All right. You are trying, Melissa. That's right. Great Mother, Father, God, and all my guardian angels and ancestor spirits. Oh, my guardian angels and ancestor spirits. I ask you in this moment in time of love, light, and truth, and understanding. Guide us and protect us in ways to see for this weekend and give us insight, please, what we need to see. Carry All right, let's go. This is for us. This is for us. This is for us. What the spirit wants to say in this moment in time. Clock, clock, clock. Bam. Oh shit! It went back over. Oh, I love this little animal, the otter. The otter. Don't y'all know what? Want to know what the otter is about? Oh, the otter. Thank you, Vaughn. Yes, you could please catch the replay, Venix. I appreciate you managing that for me, friend. The otter. I think the otter, before I look it up, has to deal with feminine energy. Let me see if I am correct. Woman medicine. Yes, yes, and very yes. Feminine energy for the otter. So this is for men too. Don't get it twisted. You have female energy in you as well. Y'all all know that because y'all are enlightened and y'all understand. This medicine held by otter is a set of lessons in female energy. This applies to both men and women, as I just said, as all of us have female sides. The otter's hide is very often used to make medicine bags for powerful women because it represents balanced feminine energy. Otter is very caring of its young and will play for hours, performing all types of acrobatics. It lives on land, but always has its home near water. The elements of earth and water are the female elements. At home in both of these elements, otter is the personification of femininity, long, sleek, and graceful. Otter is the true coquette of the animal world. I probably pronounced that wrong. Otter is always on the move and is very curious. Unlike other animals, otter will not start a fight unless it is attacked first. This joyful little creature is adventuresome and assumes that all other creatures are friendly until proven otherwise. Pause. Didn't I just say that? In regards to giving a motherfucker an elbow during this bottleneck, we can all be otter energy until we are tempted. I'm just saying. These character traits are the beauty of a balanced female side, the side of ourselves that creates a space for others to enter our lives without preconceptions or suspicions. Otter teaches us that balanced feminine energy is not jealous or catty. It is sisterhood, content to enjoy and share the good fortune of others, anchored in the understanding that all accomplishments are worthwhile for the whole tribe. Otter people express joy for others. Long ago in tribal lore, if a woman were widowed, her sister would offer her own husband to the widower as a lover to keep him from drying up and not to keep her from drying up and not using her creative urges. This is otter medicine too. Envy or the fear of being replaced has no space in otter's balanced understanding of sharing goodness. Woman energy without games or control is a beautiful experience. It is the freeness of love without jealousy. It is the joy of loving others people's children and their accomplishments as much as you have loved your own. It may be a time to examine your feelings about sharing the bounty of your life with others. Otter may be saying that the finer qualities of woman need to be striven for in both men and women so that a unity of spirit can be achieved. This would involve the destruction of jealousy and all acts of anger which stem from that fear. It would mean keeping a hawk eye on your ego and maintaining total trust. It would mean a world full of people coming together to honor the right of each other person to be, simply just to be. If you have drawn this symbol, Otter may be telling you to become the playful child and to simply allow things to unfold in your life. It may be a time to stop your addiction to worrying. Otter also teaches the importance of not hanging on to material things that would bind you or become a burden. In looking at how you can learn from Otter's habits, you might look at the joyousness of the receptive side of your nature. Have you given yourself a gift lately? Have you received any messages in your meditations? Become Otter and move gently into the river of life. Flow with the waters of the universe. Oh my God. This is the way of the balanced female receptive energy. Honor it. In doing so, you will discover the power of woman. Ashe. Come on now. Did we not just say all of this shit? God is crazy. Energy is crazy. God is crazy. It's all just crazy. Did we not just say all of that? Become that surfboard rider. Become the surfer. Flow like that water. Find that feminine energy. Dip and dive until you get too close. Give me 50 feet, motherfucker. I'm just saying. I'm here for God. You in my way. Y'all get that? Come on now. Be that otter. Honor the otter and the feminine side in you. And keep floating, y'all. Keep floating and open up. Manifest these new opportunities, these new feelings, these good feelings that want to be on you and in you, because this new life is coming up around you. I want you to see it though. Because if you stuck like trying to figure shit out and in your head about things, you won't see it. Just flow with it. You dig? And do as much as you can in a day and then fuck the rest. For real. Fuck the rest. All right. Have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. Oh, thank you, Latrice. I appreciate you saying that. No more questions. I don't see any more questions, so I'm going to go. Have a beautiful day and a nice weekend too. Goodbye. Laughter is good, y'all. Take care of yourself. Much love.